Rainbow is red, and it was yellow.
Okay, we are live. Good evening. Good evening to Trinidad and Tobago. Good evening to everyone all over the world. Hi, good evening, Marsha.
Hi, evening, Daniel. Hi to everybody there. Hope everybody blessed and in the best of health.
How are you today? How was your day?
I had quite a busy day with those boys online, but it was nice. I like keeping busy, so it was good. How was yours?
Well, mine was good enough. Unfortunately, it was behind the devices for the entire day, right? And that's how it is when you have a lot that you believe you should get done. Sometimes I will um, prefer that I spend that time more with family because we're talking about wellness and family wellness is always more important.
Right. Of course, of course. So, after our topic last week, I got quite a bit of feedback where persons, a few of them asked for the topic of forgiveness. So, a
Yeah,
lot of them been asking me to research forgiveness. So that will be the topic today. The topic at hand would be forgiveness. So to people and to oneself.
great, great. All right, so we are
Anything you want to add, Daniel, before I start?
well. Before you start, viewers, for those of you who may be viewing and are unaware, this is Out of the Box Wellness Talk. We launched last Thursday and we'll be on every Thursday from 6 p.m. to 6:55 p.m. Now we are considering going a little beyond, and that is because people have been requesting that the people are saying 55 minutes isn't enough. We thought, we might be a little boring and people don't want to hear we so long. So people ask for it, and I think we just may eventually go a little beyond that. Um, Now, what we going to do for probably the next 2 minutes, viewers, just bear with us a little bit because we sharing the link and stuff like that. So um, we will be kind of looking like if we trying to find our way, but it's just that we share the link. So what you all can also do is assist us by sharing the link so that our viewers, more viewers will be able to get on, right? Before we even start, Masha, you wanna just give a little touch again on some of the topics that persons could look forward to, as well as how they could get involved in having topics raised.
Right. Well, some of the topics that would be discussed would be forgiveness, which is today. We have self-love, um, yoga and meditation, um, what is it? Chakras, frequency. I'm saying this off my head because I do have my list here. Energies and frequencies, shame, um, self-preservation, and oneness. I believe those are some of the topics at hand. Um, but from last week till now, a couple people messaged me and they shared topics that they would like discuss. So that would be added to those topics as well. A few people wanted to know a bit more on guilt as well because guilt is a pretty heavy topic, and a couple people wanted to know. So um, maybe one of these sessions, we'll just probably add on a little extra time and I'll discuss guilt a bit further. So again, the purpose of this platform is to educate people on self-love, self-care, self-appreciation. And once you are able to achieve those things for yourself, then you would be able to apply that to anybody else you socialize with, whether it be family, friend, or foe. Correct,
Right,
Daniel?
very well. So in the meanwhile, Marsha, I I know you're gonna be sharing the link as well, so let me take this time to tell the viewers that we just chilling out here and having a chat, like when we liming, right? So this how the vibes is. It's like we liming and we talking and we just putting our conversation to the public, right? So it's a cool vibes here, real cool scene. Marsha and I just talking. And you all can feel free seeing comments coming in. I I was just interrupted by a call here. Let me see how to. I need to find a way to stop the incoming calls. Right. I need to find a way to stop the incoming calls while the live stream is going on to avoid the interruption. Right. Somebody might have to tell me how to do that part. Right. But we will just be talking on different types of wellness. We take it from different angles. I don't know if some of you may recall that we had some sessions, not on the out of the box, but previous sessions through the Perseverance media coverage, where we had some discussions on autism, and that is one of the future topics we will be dealing with. And we really have a big, nice crew that we want to bring out, right? So that crew will be include persons like Sean Nicholson, Shahira, Ali, Kashmira, and we even have some other persons in mind who we want to bring on that topic. So, hi Kavita, we have Kavita in the house here, right? Again, please assist us by sharing the live because this is not the original platform that we intended to use, but we're working with it for now, and we have to actually wait till we actually start up. Then we see the link show up on the screen from the monitor, and then we try to share it, right? So it's that kind of little thing here, but we getting through, right? We started a little earlier this evening, and what I will like for us to do, seeing that it's 6:13, I would like to put Marsha on the spot and let her jump into the topic of forgiveness, right? I know Christopher Rodriguez is looking forward to this, and Marsha will know some of the other viewers who are looking forward to this, right? But Christopher actually came home by me and he make sure I say, yeah, Marsha don't have that plug-in. He make sure that on the lineup, right? So um also Penny George, that is my wife, right? So she make sure that she checking the audio to see if our song is good, if our song is a little shaky, and to make sure the visual is good as well. Right? So Marsha, take it away now. I have some questions for you though in between because I have a
Sure.
few thoughts that I would like to get your feedback on where forgiveness is concerned. So jump into it, Marsha.
All right. So, like I said in the last program, what I did was I did research on my own, and after everything that I read, I would render my opinion at the last. Okay, so to try to make sense of some of the things, if people are not understanding it. All right, so the first thing we will ask is, what is forgiveness? So when I Google this, I got the action or process of forgiving or being forgiven. Now, to me, that's not really an explanation because we still don't know what is forgiveness, right? So, what does it mean to forgive someone or to be forgiven by someone? When you stop feeling angry or resentful towards someone or something for an offense, flaw, or mistake, that that is that is to forgive someone. When you are not irritated by the person, say someone did something to you 5 years ago, right? You might see that person and remember the incident that happened. So it triggers you in some sort of way. So that means that I mean, in Trinidad slang, your totem feelings, whether be on the surface or not. So, so what is the opposite of forgiveness? So if you don't forgive people, then you would be in the opposite emotion of forgiveness, which would be punishment. Punishment is the opposite to forgiveness. So if you are not forgiving someone, you are punishing them, probably not intentional. And if you are not forgiving yourself for not doing something or not or having done something, then you are punishing your own self continuously. So punishment is the opposite of lenient or tolerant, inclined to forgive, merciless, unforgiving, vindictive, and ruthless. So these are some big words here. I mean, from the sound of it itself, you could know that it is not a good energy word. Ruthless, vindictive, and those are the emotions and the feelings behind holding on to totem feelings for so long, whether it be to a person, place, or thing, right? So I'll tell you a little bit about um, what forgiveness does to the body, just as we discussed before, of what guilt does to the body. So, what happens to our bodies when we don't forgive? Now, all of these things that I am reading, I'm sure if you go on Google or whatever platform you're accustomed going to and you type out these things, you're going to get similar answers. So, you could continue and do research on it. When we don't forgive and experience symptoms of sadness, depression, or anxiety, the serotonin levels in our brains are lower than they should be, which can also lead to other issues such as obsessive thinking. If this is the case, forgiveness can play an important emotional part in releasing us from the grips of our past. So I'll break down that a little bit. Let me give you an example. You have a friend, say, for 10 years, and after 10 years, this friend betrayed you in, say, an unforgivable way, as we would think, right? Or a very backstabbing kind of way. Now, you might be on the surface, yeah, normal. You might even be talking to the person and putting up a nice big front that everything is fine. But deep down within the subconscious mind, there is this seed of unforgiveness that is there. Now that seed, all seeds grew. Well, I mean, they may, okay, 3 out of 5 seeds might grow, but what I mean, the purpose of each seed is to grow, right? So when you have that seed of unforgiveness in your head, it becomes part of your brain, it becomes part of your body, it becomes part of your heart. And nothing good, as I said, like with guilt, nothing good comes from low frequency. And not forgiving someone is a very, how to say, that is a very low emotion to have and also a low frequency to have. So I mentioned something called serotonin. Now that is a chemical in our brain, just like dope is dope, right? Those are chemicals that are released in order for us to feel some type of way. Certain words, certain fruits, certain things that we eat, say, see, like, all those things can trigger different chemicals in our brains that allow us to do different things at different times. So what is serotonin? Serotonin is a compound present in blood, platelets, and serum, which constricts the blood vessels and acts as a neurotransmitter, right? So this chemical has a big influence on our moods. And our moods are very important because if you get up in the morning and you're in a bad mood, trust me, the rest of the day gonna go just as bad. If you cannot forget about that, give thanks, give praise, and enjoy your morning, whether it be what situation. Now, the more you feel anxious, depressed, and tired and moody, the worse you're gonna continue to feel because these level of energies are going to attract only those level of energies. They're not going to attract anything better than that, right? So this is how important us forgiving ourselves and us forgiving our other people and moving on. This is how important it is. This is how much it can affect the human body. So serotonin is the key hormone that stabilizes our mood, feelings of well-being, and happiness. This hormone impacts your entire body. It enables brain cells and other nervous system cells to communicate with each other. Serotonin also helps with sleeping, eating, and digestion. When we spoke about guilt on the last program, those 3 things, sleeping, eating, and digestion, was one of these I don't want to say side effects, but those were some of the things that happen with guilt: insomnia, which is lack of sleep, and digestion. Um, Also, you didn't really have much, what to say, much appetite. People doesn't have much appetite. Some people eat less, some people eat more. It's according to the individual. So low levels of serotonin are often associated with many behavioral and emotional disorders. Studies have shown that low levels of serotonin can lead to depression. So if you are constantly in a state of unforgiveness, or not being, or think that you need to be forgiven by somebody else, you're gonna experience all these negative emotions, and then it's going to have a long-term effect on you, and it's not going to be a good thing. It's just going to be a bad thing. Because we also spoke last week about where guilt, sometimes the insomnia or the digestive problems will lead you to the doctor, and then you're going to get treated for something, yes, but you're going to get treated for other things as well that, I mean, that is not even the problem, right? So with these kind of things going on, because these are serious things: sleeping, unable to sleep, eating disorders, and this could affect your mood very, very badly, because you might cook something and you might not be in the mood to eat it. So a little child might walk up to you happy, happy as can be, and you might just be like, normal, normal, normal. Brush the child off because you're not in the mood for that. Now, is it the child fault? No. Is it the food fault? No. We have to gain control over our own emotions, because again, like last time we spoke, we are responsible for ourselves. We are not responsible for anybody else. When you become a parent, you are responsible, physically responsible for a child, yes, because we are their guardians. So I mean, are you not going to make sure that child eats well, sleep well? And for parents who home with their kids, learn well, have a proper education, you're going to make sure these things happen. But for our own selves, sometimes we don't know how to get to the problem. It's not that sometimes we're not willing, we just don't know. We ignorant to how to get to the problem, to deal with it, because that's the only how we can deal with it. So we are hoping this platform helps people. Like I say, if we help one person able to achieve some state of mental, um how to say, euphoria, feeling at peace constantly, I mean, I would say we have one, right? So we need, I would not say excessively high levels of serotonin. What I would say is we need good levels of serotonin. I mean, everything is in moderation. You can't say you're trying to say cleanse your kidneys. I mean, I would recommend seed under the leaf. You can't say you're going to do that and use that every single day, all the time, all the time, all the time. No, that's too much of something you're putting in your body. You do everything gradually. As with information, you're not going to take every single thing I say. You will what applies to you. You can't take more than that. If it does not apply to you, leave it alone. So what, in order for us to maintain those levels, there are fruits that we could eat that increases that chemical. There are things that we can say that will increase that. There are certain things we could tap into to achieve that as well. Many avenues we could do together, but this information is not too public. I mean, you can know everywhere to get a beer. You can know who has the best fried chicken and barbecue. We'll know all those things. We'll know who make all these dirty videos. We'll know all those things. But things like this, we will not know, or we'll not pay attention to. And this is very, very important. So what fruits and vegetables can boost the serotonin in our brain? Salmon. Now, it had a broad list. I just wrote down a few. Salmon, eggs, pineapples, nuts, and seeds. These are just a handful of the names of some fruits and veggies that can boost it. I am just saying it's like if somebody is in a heavy state of depression. Now, a heavy state of depression doesn't mean you're walking around like a zombie. It means you're walking around feeling like a zombie, which is lifeless, like unworthy, those kind of things. So I am saying that if you are so, how to say, um, if it is so far gone, the depression, there is still hope. You could still incorporate these fruits and veggies, and it would still raise the level. And what it does is help bring back a little happiness in your life simply by eating these things. So you could write down those things if you want. I'll just repeat it one more time: salmon, eggs, pineapple, nuts, and seeds. All right. So how can I raise my serotonin level? To increase serotonin levels, you should exercise regularly. Now, these are, again, are simple, simple things, but even myself found it very, very hard to exercise. Now, I do exercise every day, sometimes twice, sometimes 4 times for the day. Nothing excessive, but I do exercise. And what I'm saying is these things are so simple. We think, well, because this one said to do that, I don't need to do this. I want my little pot belly. I want this. I'm not doing that. It's not a matter of that. You exercise, your heart becomes more healthy. That's a fact. You exercise, you'll have less issues with inflammation in your blood. That's a fact. You exercise, now they are saying it raises the serotonin level in it. That's a fact. So there are a lot of facts associated with how you can raise your serotonin levels. Like I say, you could Google it for yourself, do some research, find out, ask a friend, try to incorporate the words, the fruits, the veggies, so you could be happier, think happier thoughts, and being in a state of happiness will automatically bring everything to it, whether it be physical, spiritual, or mental. So have I reached? Okay, so regular exercises, improve your diet. Now, you don't need to have $100 or $1 million in order to improve your diet, right? You could do your research. If you're having digestive problems, there are fruits and veggies for that. Pawpaw is excellent for acid, excellent, excellent, right? Pawpaw. Um, I mean, there are old remedies like baking soda and all this. There are remedies, right? So you could improve your diet. I would always say incorporate more fruits, more veggies, more dark green leafy vegetable. And the reason why the doctor always says dark green leafy vegetable, I never understood why until I did my research on chakras and things. So the heart is green. So that's your heart chakra will be green. So the more green leafy vegetables you eat, the better condition your heart would be in, and the less risk you are to have any type of heart disease. Now, I'm not saying you will not have any type of heart disease, right? You have to exercise, you have to diet and do things, but it could have you live in a longer, better quality of life. That's with diet. Get more sunlight. Now, vitamin D is very, very important. If you get at least 20 minutes vitamin D for the day, I don't mean go and stand up in the hot scorching sun, but it will help you. And it also raises the serotonin level. Try massage therapy. So people think that they need to have, X amount of money to go to massage therapist in order to get this. No, I have two hands. When I couldn't get anybody to massage me, I massage my own foot. I might massage my own back. I massage everything myself because that's the reason we have two hands, so we could help ourselves until better could be done, right? So massage therapy, all that does, even if you can't get to a massage, I would say who could go in a hammock or a swing, go in it and rock a little bit. You even like to rock, sit in it. What it does, it suspends the body, right? So the body is like motionless, just hung. It doesn't have like you have to hold up yourself when you're sitting or anything like that. So you're in a state of comfort, and that relaxing the body relaxes the mind. It works hand in hand. And use certain supplements. Like I was saying, who could afford it? Buy your tablets if you believe in that. But I believe in herbal. So I would recommend moringa, better known as Saijan. I love that plant. I love that plant so much that I still have some plants to collect from Daniel with that. I have some moringa plants to collect from you, Daniel. But that's a beautiful, beautiful plant. You could do the research. It is very, very good for the human body. It gives you almost all vitamins and minerals that are needed, including protein. So that plant could sustain you for quite some time. If you're not just saying, if rock bottom hit, you could drink that and you're sure you're not going to have any deficiencies. So you get a good supplement. Like I say, it could be from the pharmacy, it could be all natural, that's fine. Low serotonin levels may be associated, like I said, with depression. So it's very important to boost serotonin level if you want to improve your mood and feel happier. So look how simple that is. When we stop relying on external or exterior things to make us happy, is when I believe the serotonin level will go down. When we are happy regardless of our exterior or outer surroundings, is when serotonin level will be where it's supposed to be, in my opinion. So there are two levels to the word forgiveness. So we back to forgiveness. I just wanted to drift a little way for you to see by not forgiving someone or not forgiving yourself what it really does to the body. It really puts you in a kind of moody, and that this can be years. This is years and years and years. People could be going through depression. So the first
Masha,
level or first
before you
type,
go, Masha,
yeah.
before you go into the levels, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
you touch on moringa, which of course your plants here waiting, right? Don't worry again, that for sure, right? But
Yeah.
just want to mention some of the benefits of moringa, and you see this as a plant that is good for the overall physical health
Right.
as well as mental health, right? So let me just touch on this a little bit, before we go a little further. So some of the viewers probably might be wondering, and just always good to mention it. So moringa is good for hair, skin, and bone protection, right? It also reduces fatigue, tiredness, and stress. It will lower your blood sugar, lower your cholesterol. It will build your immune system, your muscles, and it will fight against breast cancer, colon cancer, diabetes. It promotes digestion and vision. So somebody like me, so now I supposed to be drinking that moringa right through, so I could see better, right? I think with that moringa, that might kind of save me from finally getting glasses after all these years, right? So it contains vitamin A, B6, and C, right? It's not limited to that. It also has protein, iron, magnesium, and um, riboflavin. Some people just pronounce it different. All you know, I don't know all the big pronunciation. I hear who they say riboflavin and all kind of thing. But that part is not mine, right? So riboflavin, B12, and the thing with moringa, you could use it in different forms. You could use the whole plant, from the stem, the leaves, the fruit, and even the roots of the plant, the trunk, everything, every part of that moringa tree have health benefits for our overall body. So we do have a part that could really waste. And even after you take out the shell and all that from the moringa, that shell could be reused for your plants. It could be used to make your fertilizers and stuff like that. So the entire moringa, I had was to just jump in and mention this. The entire moringa, well good. Well good. I'll take a little note of something again that I wanted to ask you. So for somebody like me who in feeling to take eggs and stuff, right? You mentioned the list earlier on, like the salmon and eggs and so forth. Um, you have any substitute in mind for the eggs?
For the eggs, I'm sure that it will have um, a few things that I saw. It's a lots of fruits, lots of veggies, but other than the eggs, I would say take moringa. Moringa is high in protein. That's all I would say. That's what if some vegetarians could even enjoy it now.
Okay, but I think I will go and will dig into that, to find out like what's real similar to eggs, but in terms of the herbs and stuff like that, or even the
Hmm.
vegetables, what you could get almost the same thing that you get in egg, what plant you could
Yeah,
get it from. And
there
people
was some good
find
research
it
here.
so strange to think that we will get the same things from an animal that we get in from a plant. And it just real, it could happen. Right. So as you was saying now, you was going into your points and thing, I'm really excited. I'm a pencil, well,
No,
it's one
I'm
of
sure
the
that
pencil.
information is good for a lots of people because a lots of people don't know the benefits of moringa, Saijan. So, as I was saying, there are two levels to forgiveness, right? The first level or the first type of forgiveness would be the forgiveness of someone, as in to forgive someone for doing something wrong, whether they knew it or not. So, what does it mean to forgive someone? Psychologists generally define forgiveness as a conscious, deliberate discussion to release feelings of resentment or vengeance towards a person or group who has harmed you, regardless of whether they actually deserve your forgiveness. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting, nor does it mean condoning or excusing offenses. Right? So what that means to me is that when it is you don't forgive someone, I already explained what it does to the immune system, what it does to the mind, how it disrupts the everyday life, right? But what that is doing to you is keeping you in a state of stagnancy, which I explained in the last program. It could never be good, right? Um, if you don't forgive someone, I would say you're questioning God and his plans. This is in my opinion, right? Because let's say, like I was telling you, say I had a friend and backstab you and whatever, and you holding on to that. A year passed, 2 years passed, 3 years passed, you still holding on to that. Your friend living their full life, whether you forgive them or not. So you not forgiving them is only affecting you. So when you feel, well, I'm not forgiving this person, they have to prove themselves to me. Or I'm not forgiving that person. What they did was unforgivable. Now, if we believe in God and we trust in God, like I would always say, God is boss, right? If we believe and we trust in God, every single thing that happens, we don't have power over that. The only thing we have power over is how we react to things, is our attitude about things. If things are going bad, we tend to complain, we tend to bicker, we tend to point fingers, we tend to blame people because it is easier to give somebody responsibility for something that has gone wrong rather than to attune to that responsibility and handle whatever consequences or circumstances may happen after that said mistake. Right? So what I'm saying is it it puts you in a state of anxiety, it puts you in a state of depression, holding on to things. If that were to happen, like I said with your friend, if that were to happen and a friend betrayed you and you thinking you may never trust this person again, you may never have faith in this person again, or you might never have, it might even be worse, you might never have faith in people again. Or if it's a boyfriend or a husband, so you might not have faith in men again. If it was a woman, the same thing applies, right? You might not trust them again. Now, you not trusting somebody or you not trusting something or whatever the case may be, how is that affecting the other person? It is not. You are the one who's losing sleep. You are the one having digestive problems. You are the one may have to constantly go to the doctor. All of this is going on and everything is only happening to you. So therefore, you need to relieve this person. And like I said, whether they deserve the forgiveness or not, you need to forgive them. You need to forgive them and let them go. If not physical, mental first. Once you let it go, mental, physical body will follow. So forgiving people, it could be a year, it could be a month, it could just as happen, it could be 20 years. You are keeping things in your mind and in your heart that does not belong there. One, you're keeping things there that are of negative frequency. Two, and to me, you're playing God, because if it is you saying this person should not have done this to me or that should not have happened, then you are questioning our existence. You are questioning, the universe. You are questioning why things happen, because it takes I don't want to say an awesome attitude, but it takes a positive attitude to go through hard times. And if it is you don't have that company, that circle of people that are positive and uplifting, well, then you be one. And if you can't be that one to yourself, be one to somebody else. Be positive, share a good word, be kind. Why not? Why not be kind? What does it take from us to be kind? What does it take from us to forgive somebody? What does it take from us to have sympathy? It does not take anything. It does not cost us anything. No money, no honey, no big sacrifice. No, the only thing we'll
Let
lose
me
is our
ask
pride, and that has to go.
you I want to ask you something, right?
Sure.
And I just kind of knew this was going to come up. If it is somebody do me something in the past, right? I'm talking based on a recent conversation I had with some friends, and one of them was sharing an experience. So somebody do me something in the past, and I not really studying them and thing, and in my mind, I not even vex when I see them, but I just feel somewhere in my heart that you know they hit me some years ago when I probably couldn't defend myself, and I get a little bigger now, and I'm a little more brave, and I feel the had to at least feel a little something, right? I ain't even vex at the point in time, but I just feel well, nah, boy, that person, they had to get back a little something just to know well how it felt. Would you say that I totally forgive that person, or just keeping that and feeling like I could only move on after I hit them a few blows? What's your view on it? Right,
All right.
this
Well,
in a conversation recently, and one of the persons in the conversation spoke about something that happened quite in school time, and
yeah.
at the point in time when they met the person again, it was
Mm.
a time when they were already employed, right? So they met the person on the workplace and decided, well, all right, you go take a taste. And the person getting that taste probably didn't even remember what that was for, right? So, wait, tell me some about that now before you go on.
All right. Well, if you're well, thoughts and feelings, right? Over that period of time, I would think all of us at some point, maybe not on the same level, would feel to do somebody back something, whether it be hit them or lash, cuss them, if they pass and they splash water on you and you get opportunity 5 years after to splash back water on them, I think that is the defining factor of if we will do the same thing that was done to us. And I believe we always get back a chance to do something, whether it be right or wrong. So you feeling to do that, nothing is wrong with that. That's normal human feeling. Somebody do you
But
something, you feel to do them back.
is it that I have a percentage of unforgiveness still?
All of us,
Because
I still no, all of us will still have that until nothing like the same way it would not have come overnight, the same way would not go overnight. It takes time. It does takes time. But once you're
and
consistent, it's your positive thoughts and you're doing the right thing. Even if you are in a position where you could do back somebody something, the universe wouldn't allow it because you are a different person. You are more experienced, a bit more mature. And even if you make the same mistake and you do what the person, you're gonna have a karma of that. So you must know that as well. It's gonna happen back to you. And they're gonna have opportunity now to do the same thing. And so the cycle gonna continue. So what you need to do is take yourself out of the equation and burn that bridge right there. And just smile and wave. You don't need to have close interaction. Just smile and wave.
right. I like how you put it. You take yourself out of the equation.
Yeah,
You
take
know, you
yourself out of the
bridge,
equation.
and you kind of you break the cycle, then you break the chain
You're
of it.
breaking the cycle, yeah, because there would always have cycles, but we want cycle of progress. We want cycles of movements. We don't want cycles of stagnancy because just like I said, how mosquitoes will only lay eggs in stagnant water. It's the same thing.
Well, I study some stagnant water wrong because every time you see me looking left or right, is them mosquito harassing me. I don't know what call them
Oh gosh,
mosquito
I'm
upon
having
your
the same problem here. I have the same problem here.
call
Right.
them
So
mosquito. Yes.
well, I hope that answered the question. Just take yourself out of the
Yeah,
equation.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not worth it.
Yeah, I like how you put it.
Right. So we were at the first level and first type of forgiveness, like I said, which is forgiving someone, right? So the second level of guilt, the second type of guilt, which I think is very important, the forgiveness of oneself, forgiving your own self for either doing something or not doing something. Not doing something in time, or doing something out of time. It have different scenarios, right? Um, Self-forgiveness enables you to separate who you are from the mistakes that you have made. This way, you can begin to learn from your choices and find ways to make amends when possible. It will be easier to truly forgive others when you start forgiving yourself. Forgiveness is a process that takes time. So let me break down this a little bit, right? They said that self-forgiveness enables you to separate yourself from your mistakes because your mistakes are not you. How can your mistakes be you? That is something that happened. You would have had less information. You would have been ignorant to certain things. You might have been an ignorant person to a lot of things, and you made a mistake. Why are you going to be binded to that? And it is unfair for anybody to put you in a position where they bind you like that. It is unfair. So, and worst, if you are binding yourself. Now, like I said, if you made a mistake and you did something wrong, why have that etched in your subconscious mind? It's going to take over while you are sleeping and activate certain things and how to say certain thoughts gonna be in your mind and all these kind of negative things. And the
But I
last part
have a
it
question
says
on this.
that
Before you go to the last part, I have a serious question on this, right? When
mhm,
I was younger and thing, it had some people who looked up to me, not in a positive way because I wasn't always on the positive side, right?
mhm,
And well, all this wasn't really in my thoughts before we started this conversation here, but now as you bring up that, you kind of put me in an emotional spot here on a real serious note at the same time too. So I was kind of a bad example. I probably still not the best example, but what I was speaking about, it had some people who looked up to me, and because of choosing to follow a particular lifestyle, they are no longer alive today, right? And I know that my bad influence contributed to that. So sometimes I feeling like it's still kind of hard to forgive myself for the bad example that I set to those people who it's people I did care about, of course, because I just surround myself with people who are considered. But then when you really think about it, you care about these people and you lead them to always years after when I probably may have been on a different path, they continue. So I will still think that I lead them to the depths, right? And I'm talking about where you will see a WhatsApp message pop up and you see your virgin on a hospital bed with bullets, bullet wounds. You see holes in his clothes and you just seeing blood. And you just flash back and remember any times when this person will look up to you as a leader then, right? But wasn't leading in a positive way, right? Now, up to today, I just still feel, like I don't know how to claim my own self from that. What do you think about that?
all right. Well, first of all, I think at some point all of us were like that. At some point where we would have made mistakes that we are not proud of and we are not happy of. But for you just coming out and saying it, that in itself, I mean, says a lot, right? Now, you need to forgive yourself for that because everybody is able and capable to make their choices. Like you said, you were a young man, right? They would have come up under you. And I would think, I'm just saying, say 10 guys would have took your advice or followed your style back then, where you say led to bad behavior. But I am certain 100 are following you now with the positive things that you bring. So you just switch platforms where you have more influence and you could have been doing the wrong things and you would have still had that platform if you understand what I'm saying. But you
Yeah, but
chose to do something different and to have a
yeah, but
better impact on people. And since I know you, it's only positive things you've been doing. So to hear that you've been on that other part, right? To self-discovery is no big news to me, but it's just strange because I only know you to bring positive things. So if you influence, say, a small handful of people, right? You forgive yourself for that because you did not know yourself before. I am sure
the
you were
challenging
like,
thing about it, right, Marsha, These are people, no matter how I change, I can't bring them back. So it's something that I can't undo.
Right. Of course, but you did not set them to the death. You have to look at it like that. God is the only one who could snatch that from us. So how is that your responsibility? It is not. You are responsible now because you are out of the matrix and you are aware, you are awoken. But back then, it was just you being you, right? How could you have influence of who following you? Now you do. Now you can see who following you, right? Now you can see your viewers. Now you can see everything. So you need to forgive yourself, and I think you all probably already have, but you are such a nice person so that the slightest thing that off, slightest little guilt will kind of etch and eat at your heart because it is not of you anymore. That is a cycle you have finished. It is just here, but it is a cycle that has finished already. You are not the same person you were. We are not the same person we were an hour ago, a day ago, a week ago. And how long ago was that? How long ago was that, Daniel?
Well, that would have been many years ago, like
Right.
more than over 10 years ago. But, you know, it I still wish that, this didn't happen because sometimes when you hear these people speak, the way how they will speak of you, but in a good or a bad way, you could see that they rate you, right? They rate you, even though it's in a bad way, but they
Mhm.
rate you and they really look up to you. And when people hear them talk about you, it's like if they talk about the most important person that them know, right? So
Mhm.
it's kind of way like that. But it's just the little now and then when these people come to my mind, more than one person's, you
But that just
will.
shows you have compassion as well. You could empathize with people. And if it is you didn't care, it would not have bothered you. But eventually you'll have to let go of that. And I guess as time goes by, you'll see the bigger picture and you'll be a little more confident, a little more, let's say, grounded, not have those thoughts in your head. Because at the end of the day, you can't bring back anybody. We don't have that power. We can't bring back anybody. So we can't give life and we can't take life. So that is up to the Father. So the Father will sort out everything with you. So I'm not worried about that. That
I ain't
answered the
worried.
question, I hope.
Sure, sure.
Um, so I was saying, okay, so it will be easier to truly forgive others when you start forgiving yourself. Not if, when you start forgiving yourself. So, like Daniel was talking about an incident that happened probably 10 years ago, and he's feeling guilty about it, right? Um, that's understandable. You will feel guilty. You will feel a bit of remorse. You will feel a bit saddened, that you were responsible for certain bad things happening. But what you're gonna do? You're gonna put yourself on a cross and I mean, light it up. What you gonna? You can't do anything about it. You ask the good Lord for forgiveness. You forgive yourself. I mean, affirmations is one of the topics as well. You look at yourself and say, I am not the same person I was. I have made mistakes. Lord Jesus, whoever you believe in, you call their name and you ask them to forgive you. And you look at yourself in the mirror and say, I forgive you for not knowing better. I forgive you for making mistakes. And if you have hurt someone, it's as simple as that. Put your pride in your pocket. If it's too big, put it in the two pockets. And you walk up to the person. I don't mean send a text or a voice note. You walk up to the person as long as they're not aggressive, right? And you are simply apologize. That is not taking anything from you. And automatically you would feel a burden being relieved. Not because they forgive you, but because you were able to let it out of exactly how you feel. Because then when you don't do that and you sugarcoat it and you camouflage it, that's where the codependency is coming. That's where the cigarette, the alcohol, the sex, the drugs, that's where all these things come in when it is you're not being open about your feelings. Masking things never help. All masks have to come off, right? So whether it come off today or 10 years down the road or 50 years down the road, it's going to come off. You're going to see the true you. So it's better you see it now and be able to love yourself, appreciate yourself, which will extinguish all these other low frequency of guilt, being unforgiven, all those shame or all those kind of things. will just disappear because you are replacing it with positive things.
All right. So
So,
just before you continue, for those of you who are tuned in, we are not going to stop at 6:55. This is Out of the Box Wellness Talk with Daniel and Marsha, and this is going to be streaming every Thursday from 6 p.m. Right, and by demand from the public, from viewers' demand, we are going to go beyond 55 minutes, right? So we are talking about forgiveness today, and it's just we chatting, and of course you all will realize topics are out of the box. We're not staying within the ordinary, and Marsha is leading this topic today on forgiveness. So thanks for those of you who are here. Stay with us, share the live so that more persons could join the stream. And yeah, it's just we chatting and we bringing our chat to you. We offering you the opportunity to just take in our chat, and also you all can comment, and you all can also suggest wellness topics for our Thursday evening sessions, right? So back to you, Marsha.
right. So to me, it's of the two levels of forgiveness. I would say it means letting go of emotional negative burdens that may cloud your mind and cloud your judgment and cloud your emotions. God is boss in my opinion. So whatever was done to me, said about me, or etc., was ordained to happen. This is my opinion. This is my belief. To teach me, to help me grow, not to hurt me, no matter what it may be. And by the way, we are in charge of our feelings. So no one can really make us feel any type of way for anything unless we want to. We have to say, okay, we have to put on that green light and say you are in charge of this or you in charge of that. Anytime somebody could say certain words to you and that make you feel some type of way. Now I'm not saying not to have emotions. What I am saying is you have the channel now. You decide what you want to have shown. You decide what you want to go and stream live. I'm talking about mind, mouth, and things like that. So you decide what's gonna come out of your mouth. Somebody tell you, you're a fool, you're ignorant, you're an idiot, whatever, 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 whatever. If you know these things are not true, why be bothered? It makes no sense. If this person does not know you, why be bothered? It makes no sense. If the person that did this stuff to you is going about their everyday life like nothing never happened and you just there fretting up yourself, that makes no sense. You understand? So forgive and forgive yourself. And that is the number one thing to do, I would say, of self acceptance and self love, for you to forgive yourself, knowing that you did not know better. You simply did not know better. The people can't crucify you for that. You did not know better. But if you did not know better, you have to be doing better now. Otherwise, it cannot apply. You cannot say you didn't know better. Mind you, you're doing the same things over and over. Then you know better. You're just having a little fun. You know better. So you know better, right? So um, no one really makes us feel any type of way other than what we want to feel. So if you get up in the morning and you are in a loving mood and you see the beautiful sky and the sunrise and you want to feel good and you want to say nice things and you want to say hallelujah, you want to call somebody, do that. They're going to just raise your frequency higher and higher. They're going to be pleasing to the good Lord. But when it is you get up like that and something happens, the first thing going to come out of your mouth, you see why? After happiness is sorrow. If you are saying after happiness is sorrow and you have that etched in your head, guess what? After happiness is going to be sorrow. But if you study after happiness is sorrow and I am going to be happy after that, that's the full stop there. Nobody can make you feel any kind of how. So
For why in the
most
words
times
to
we are not hurt by others' actions or words. We are not. We are more disappointed, right? We are more we're not really hurt, We're disappointed because our expectations here and people, well, way below the belt. So you not expecting this person to hurt you. You're not expecting this person to rip out your heart. You're not expecting this person to tell lies about you. You're not expecting this person to have your name in other people's mouth. You're not expecting these things, but it happens every day, right? Now, what you're gonna do about it? You're going to spread back the person name, or like Daniel was talking about earlier, you feel like you want to do them back something, tit for tat, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth kind of thing, because it's in our nature, right? And when you do that now, it come like really, they hand you it, but it don't have a finish line. It have no cutoff point. They hand you it, you hand them back. They hand you it, you hand them back. And that is going for years and years and years. It might not even be a physical thing, it might be a mental thing. They might see you, you might do them something, and they're gonna drop words for you. You're gonna have a little bacchanal. When that done now, or they start back to talk, you get opportunity, you're gonna drop words for them. You're gonna start, and so it's going to continue, and that is just wasting precious time. Forgive and forget. Who want to remember, let them remember, right? Like they said, forgiving does not mean, when I say forget, I just mean put it at the back of your head, you dealt with it already. I don't mean forget the situation. I just mean try to move past the bad emotions, try to move past the hurts. Time heals everything. So, disappointed, we are disappointed because we expected better from boy, girl, animal, place, or thing. Simply meaning we expected better from people, we expected better from our environment, we expected better from our parents, we expected better from our employer, our employees, our best friend, our kids. We always expecting better. Why we always expecting better? I am not saying to expect the worst, but what I'm saying, why we always expecting better more than people could give? Actions have to speak together with words, right? The actions will speak much louder than your words, because you might say, might tell somebody, I love you, and you shushing and doing something with somebody else. Or you might tell your child, I love them, and you're giving them a big bag of chocolates, right? And every time you love it, you a big bag of chocolates. We know, I mean, that amount of sugar is not good for a child. So to some people, that is love. To me, that is not love. That is rotten teeth, right? That is hyperness. That is no sleeping, that kind of thing, right? So, well, we discussed the two levels of love, as my opinion. So now you kind of understand how important forgiveness is. Seek and ye shall find, right? It is not no, how to say, you don't have to go through no trial, nobody don't have to judge you, you don't have to go through this, you don't have to go through that. You close your eyes, you focus on yourself, you remember the incident, you remember the occasion, the situation, you ask for forgiveness. If it is the person can't give you forgiveness, if you can't reach it, you ask for forgiveness, you make peace with yourself, you forgive yourself, and you try to move forward the best way you can. So we're going back to serotonin a little bit. As in, how would you know when your levels, serotonin levels, are low? How would you know? So people who feel unusually irritable or down for no apparent reason, I know a few people like that, right? May have low serotonin levels, depression feelings of sadness, hopelessness, and anger. So sometimes when somebody quite angry all the time, a little ignorant all the time, I'm not labeling anybody, I'm just talking from my experience. When they are like that all the time, why would I let their opinion hamper me or make me feel some type of way when you willfully knowing that this person is like this all the time, right? Um, and anger, as well as chronic fatigue and thoughts of suicide, may indicate depression as well, or anxiety. Low serotonin levels may cause anxiety as well. I used to, I don't want to say use the word suffer, but I had anxiety for quite some time, which I could not handle stressful situations at all, at all, at all. I couldn't handle it. As soon as I started to get stressed, hair would just get restricted with air, start to feel all kind of way, and then that would be it, anxiety attack. And
But you
sometimes
still
I would
don't like
collapse with
anything
it.
too stressful.
Sorry?
I say you still don't like anything too stressful. You like to be real simple with everything.
Yes, yes, yes. I try not to take on too much that I can't handle. Like, I'm just saying, if I have a million things to do and I get up and my mind says, no, not pertaining with the kids and school and stuff, right? That's certain things you have to get done, right? But I'm just saying, say I have some things to do. I get up and I feel to take an extra half an hour, I am taking an extra half an hour. Simple as that. I feel to have one sandwich, I'm having one sandwich. I feel to have two, I'm having two. I feel to smile all day long, I will smile. I feel to tell everybody I love you and give you a hug. Well, people might think I'm crazy, but within my family, I'll do that. Like that now. So what I'm saying is nobody should really have much influence of how you do things. You feel to be you, be you. The right people will stay and the wrong people will fall away like the old fruits, right? So, low serotonin levels may cause anxiety, depression, all those bad things, basically, right? Guilt and lack of forgiveness and lack of self-love allows this chemical to go down. We don't want this. We don't need that. We need it to be up so we could always be happy. So we have a really, really good attitude for when bad things happen. And with this COVID time where people dropping like flies, we need that happy drug. We need that happy chemical that God has given us. And there are fruits, veggies, words, frequencies, music, people that can assist in raising it. So dopamine is associated with pleasurable sensation. So this goes hand in hand with serotonin, right? Along with learning, memory, motor system functions, and more serotonin. This hormone, a neurotransmitter, helps regulate your mood as well as your sleep, your appetite, your digestive system, learning ability, and memory. Look how many things this assists with. So when these levels are low, it can be good. You're not going to be in a good mood. Your appetite going to be all over the place. Your digestion going to be all over the place. You will not want to learn anything. You're going to be ignorant. Your memory going to be affected. Now there are herbs and fruits and veggies to raise all these things. But again, how would you know? You have to know how to get to the problem in order to solve it. So what can we do to increase the dopamine in our body? Getting enough sleep. Now, we are run like, I would say, headless chicken sometime in the rat race. Do, go, 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 go. You sit down too much, you're lazy. If you're relaxing, typically relaxes on vacation, you have no chill time, you have no leisure time, you have nothing. And they are saying here, the more that you rest, increases the dopamine in your brain, the chemical. So you'll actually be feeling good the more rest. When it is you go to the doctor and you spend 350 or 450 or 500 and they tell you go home and get rest, you're going home. You're telling the people closest to you, they say get some rest. Everybody else might be telling you to get some rest. You're not getting rest. You're going to spend money for somebody to tell you to rest. And then you're going to rest for a day or two and you're going to run down your body again. And so the cycle continues. So getting enough sleep is very important. Exercising, like I say, regulates the heart and the blood flow back and forth from your brain to your heart, from your brain to your heart. So all those things are needed. Listening to music. Music has different frequency, different vibration, right? To have different people, we listen to different music. There's a reason why there's different types of music, right? So somebody playing something you don't like, that's okay. Jack in your head for and listen to something you like. Somebody voice irritating you, that's okay. Walk away and listen to the birds sing. There is always a way to get out of a situation. You just need to be creative. Meditating and spending time in the sun. Like I said, vitamin D, the sun is natural energy as water and the earth, right? So any kind of interaction with the energies or the how to say the sunshine, the water, the touching the dirt, any kind of interaction is always going to be something good.
I have a joke
Like,
for you on
sorry?
I have a little joke for you on that.
Ah,
I could remember when I started to get children and things. People telling me, well, you have to get the early morning sun. And if you see me holding them children and things, taking the early morning sun, ask me why the hell I was taking the giving them children the early morning sun. I couldn't answer that. Well, after some years, I eventually knew. I think by the time we had our son, I knew what was the purpose. But in the early days, if you see man, I walk in the road early in the morning, feeling proud with my little child taking the early morning sun. So you see how you're explaining what the sun could do. I think that is one of the things will cause people to appreciate this program more, because they're not just saying do this, but you're telling us why we should do what you're suggesting that we do.
Right?
So
Because there are always reasons why people say things, but we have become a bunch of people that just do things for doing it sake. We're not asking why to do that. No, because we say that, right? And that's the reason people do things, because we say that. What applies to you can't apply to me. It may apply, but let that be my choice, right? So, like, the sun is very, very good for you as well. And meditating. So I said yoga and meditation would be one of the topics a bit later on. Um, what it does is, with the physical body, what it does is puts it in a state of peace and quiet, and then we are able to think clearly. We can't think clearly with all the noise and phrase going on all over the place. We can't think clearly. Yeah. We need to first quiet our mind, listen to our heartbeat, and then we can make proper decisions. But that's how I make my decisions. When the place is quiet and it's peaceful in my mind. Uh, so
I have a question on that, Masha. I think I heard some people spoke about their ability to, in a noisy place, they actually could mentally block off all the noise and find that quietness, even though the place noisy. I don't know
it's
if you
true.
could
Some
relate
people
to
can do
that.
that. I'm not sure if I could do that. I'm not sure. I don't know if I do that or not, but I just try to keep a certain level of peace in my mind. I just try not to be unbothered too much of the outer world, only because I govern my own will. This is me. I govern me, right? And I like to feel happy. I like to be good. I like to be kind, and I want to continue being that person. And that doesn't really go well with society. So once you incorporate these things in your life, you will be able to be how you want to be, when you want to be,
When they
most
say it doesn't,
comfortable in your own skin. Yeah.
when they say it doesn't go well with society, what exactly you mean by that?
Well, Daniel, you know my personality, right? I'm very, very bubbly, and I'm not saying I'm happy all the time, but I have a joy that no one can steal. So sometimes a bad situation may happen, and my reaction to it may not be, I guess, an emotional one or a sad one. I would just see things as it is, and people tend to judge me based on that now. Like, you don't have emotions. So how you could be like that? How you could burn that bridge like that now? So it doesn't really go well with people. So I tend to kind of, I don't want to say by myself, but let me say when the cycle is over, it is over. You're not needed anymore now, like that. So people who are toxic behavior and I don't really respond to them, they tend to say this or think that about me or somebody like me, right? So that's why I say I don't really go well to society, because I don't fit in the mold. I really don't fit in the mold.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Clear.
Yeah, well, I don't think you fit in the mold too, Daniel.
You know
I
what
don't
you're
think
saying.
so at all, at all.
You know very well what you're saying.
Right. So all these things can boost the dopamine in levels in your body, right? So, overall, a balanced diet and lifestyle can go a long way in increasing your body's natural production of dopamine and helping your brain to function at its best. Now, isn't that the best version of ourselves? Having our brain perform at its best. Isn't that the end game? Isn't that the end goal? For us to be the best versions of ourselves. And if that is the case, we can take all the time we spend in and energy and money and spend it on ourselves. And that is not being selfish once it's not selfish reasons. As simple as that. If it's not selfish, it's not selfish. If it's self love, it's self love. If you believe it's self love, it's self love. Outside world is the outside world kind of thing. So dopamine is an important chemical also. Um, well, Daniel, I'm watching the time, so I think that it for the day, for the night.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think we did well.
Yeah, man,
7:15.
we did well. We did well. So I hope the information I have given you all, I hope one thing stood out. If it's the balanced diet, if it's getting more sun, if it's forgiving yourself, if it's forgiving other people, whatever it may be, I
Are you
hope it
seeing the
has had
comments?
a positive impact. on someone's life. That is my end goal, and that's our end goal on this platform, being able to help people to love themselves. And you need to forgive yourself for whatever mistakes you have made. Does not matter what it is. You made mistakes, you forgive yourself and you move forward. Someone did something to you over a period of time, you can't deal with it, end that cycle, forgive them, and let bygones be bygones. Because there is no progress in guilt and not forgiving someone. There is no progress in that. You're just going to remain there in stagnancy, and your life going to just pass you by until you, I would say, until you accept change. Because nothing happens unless change is accepted, right?
Are you seeing the comments on your screen?
Yes.
Okay, well, you could probably say a little shout out to those who comments before we go.
Well, if anyone has a topic in mind for next week, just like everyone message, you could message or text Daniel and let him know. And I don't have a topic carded as yet. I just kind of go with the flow. I have the topics as hand, and whichever, I should say, situations come up in my life or whatever material graduates towards me, that's the topic that I use. So if anyone has any topics that they would like that I didn't call out, you could always message us or message Daniel, and we'll try to discuss it as best as possible. And if you need further information on the forgiveness or on guilt, you could ask us, and we could always spend a couple minutes on it, explaining some more in detail.
Okay, so we didn't really have any specific question. I see we got some greetings from Christopher Rodriguez, Kavita Mahabir, Dol Shariza, I hope I'm pronouncing it properly, Donna Mora, Shireen Perch, Penny George. Penny said, well said and put together, Marsha. So she's complimenting your
Penny,
presentation,
I'll message her.
right? Shireen is saying stress and the effects of the body. There is the stress and the effects on the body, right? So whatever effects the stress could have on the body, I guess she is suggesting that topic. And even though you all would have heard Marsha in the form of our presentation tonight, we just chatting. Marsha and I, we usually chat from time to time. Sometime it might be once a year, sometime it might be once a month. But when we do chat, we have a long chat. And just in case all you wondering what these people could be chatting about so long, we just bringing it to the public. And we're giving you all the opportunity to join the chat. I'm seeing Chrisan Nanku saying, interesting session. Thank you, thank you. So, Marsha, so far, stress, I think that's the challenge that is placed on us, right? And if between now and Tuesday, um, Tim Bags, I want to make sure I'm seeing good. I'm seeing something keep blocking my top comments.
He said, bless
Yes,
vibes, enjoy the program, keep up the vibes.
nice, nice, thank you. But something blocking part of the name here. I guess it's probably because of the controller. Let me
Yeah.
see. Um, I
I believe
also
stress might be the next topic, and the effects on the human body and what it does mentally, spiritually, and physically. I think that's an excellent topic. If anyone, has another topic, fine, but we could see how stress goes for next
I
week.
seen I seen a message notification that Janika Guerra and Kelly Rosales are watching with you, right? So on my other device here, I could see the names with nothing blocking here. So this is Tim Bags, Bonteri. I hope
Bonte.
Bonte. Oh gosh, thanks for correction. Ole, forgive me. No. I'm not so bright and all. I'm not so bright, right? I just have a little idea what brightness is, right? And, so Next Thursday, so far, well, what we spoke about last Thursday in the launch is that we will go until Tuesday to hear the different suggestions. And on Tuesday, if we don't have any, if we have more suggestions, we will look for which suggestion had the most votes. So far, we have one suggestion from Sharon Perch. Last week, we had forgiveness from Christopher Rodriguez, and he was supported by other persons who text you directly. And now we have stress and how it will affect your body. So you viewers, feel free to drop in your suggestions. We will check it out. Everybody will see the comments when you check back, so you could vote and you could ask your friends to vote too. Say, nah, boy, I want my topic inside. Sure, you could wait under stress. But let me put sure you under no more stress. No, I ain't saying she under stress, but I mean, don't put she under stress by voting she out. Or let's support she there. Support
But
she.
that's a nice topic. I mean, that
Yes,
is
I
a
like
practical
that.
topic. That's what's going on
You know
right
what?
now. People have a lot
Before
of
we
stress
go,
to deal with.
you know what had me under a little stress?
What's that?
No big scene, eh? But just before we start, I make a mistake and press the power button and turn off the laptop. And I know trying to rush to put back on this thing, trying to reload it and studying if I had to start all over, but the settings were saved and stress going right there. Stress
God
going
is good,
right there.
man. Things will always work out.
Not permit, I must admit, I panic a little bit there. Eh? Right,
Well, look,
look,
Penny, I agree. Stress is for the next
yes,
topic. So we'll
yes.
see. Once a couple more people agree, that will be the next topic. So we'll confirm on Tuesday.
All right, well, I will take it first and shout out all my friends and family. I ain't gonna call no name, but I have to call, of course, Penny. That's my wife. I'll call Penny and my children. Shout out to them. And I have to say thanks to all the viewers for viewing. Right, and now Marsha will close us off with her words, and we look forward to you all 6 p.m. Now we hope we will be on time, but you look out for 6 p.m. next Thursday. Marsha, to you.
Right. Well, guys, take care. Stay blessed. Be healthy. Make good choices. Do research on yourself. Find out about yourself. Find out things to eat and drink to raise these chemicals in your body. If you can't remember, you could always message Daniel. He'll let you know. And everyone stay safe. And we'll see everyone again next week Tuesday at 6 p.m.